Call of Duty is one of the most popular video games in the world. The imagery behind it is almost immediate, that as individuals, we have an obligation to serve a greater good. And that is not just doing the minimum, but going above and beyond, to putting ourselves in the place of others to protect them. And so we would act as others would act. And so as an auditor, one of our primary responsibilities, our call to duty, is to act with due care, to act with due diligence, to put in the effort that's necessary to show we did a good job. And so what that means is we have to prove it. And so we can't just assert that we did a sufficient effort. We have to have proof. And so there are two ways an auditor can prove that they put in sufficient effort. One is documentation. They provide adequate records that what they did, what they understood, what questions they asked, how things went, what are their hypotheses they used to test. How do they go from we're not sure the client had a material misstatement to we can provide reasonable assurance that the client's financial statements are free of material misstatement. Documentation is done in the audit work papers. These are oftentimes electronic now, but historically were actually physical trunks and suitcases of documents that would be carried to and from the client. But now it's all electronic, shared among auditors around the world. They'll contain scanned copies of minutes, other forms of documentation. The second way you can prove you've acted with due care is review. Having properly reviewed documents. And we saw that in the past with ticks and ties and initialing and footnoting. That's showing that I've gone through and demonstrated that not only has it been done, but someone has gone through and verified it has been done to the appropriate standard. Do you see how these are connected? If you don't document, it can't be reviewed. So who does the reviewing? Everyone reviews. The intern and first years do some work, the seniors do work, but they also review the work of interns. The manager will then review both of the work the senior did, both reviewing and that. Now, we're not saying they review everything. They'll take a look at the summary and see if this warrants further attention. If there's adequate documentation, they may not go to source documents. They may rely upon the person beneath them's analysis. And so that's why it's important you document your understanding. You provide comments. You want to avoid speculation, but you do want to put adequate documentation on possibilities. So as an intern, as an auditor, you need to act with due care. And that's going to call you to always document what you've done and be an effective reviewer. And so there's a third way, it's called supervise. And so after someone's done something documented and they've been reviewed, someone has to supervise to make sure people are actually doing what they say they're doing. It's not enough to just write down, you observed the inventory. It's someone supervising to ensure professional norms are being set. And so that's part of that review process, is to do adequate supervision. So always exercise due care and you'll be in great position for success.